Hello and welcome to yet another episode of What to Pick. In this video series I go over a few different starting hands and explain what I would pick and why. And in today's first starting hand we have a decision between Mining Guild and Saturn Systems. Two corps that go in a completely different direction, but both tend to go for a longer game. So Mining Guild more early tile placement, get your steel prod up, get some card draw and play a lot of building techs, and then Saturn Systems is get some card draw and play a lot of Jovian techs with some titanium prod. Mining Guild usually is a bit more fun to play, so let's pick that for now. Certainly good preludes, but not perfect for Mining Guild, because optimally, especially on Tharsis, you'd like to see great Aquifer. With that one, you could place 2 oceans here and here and get 2 steel prod for free immediately. Dome farming is really good with the building tech. That way you already have 3 building techs, and the plant tech is also really valuable. This prelude has grown on me a lot. And Metals Company is also great. If you have like insane starting hands, you could think about donation if you want to play a lot of your starting 10 cards. Supplier can also be useful with the power prod, especially though for Saturn Systems, because with Mining Guild you already have 5 steel. You probably don't need the 4 steel, but maybe you do. Let's go with these 2 for now. Let's see what we have here. Some good cards here in the starting hand. This is Venus Next, by the way. This is the Venus Next card. A lot of card draw here immediately. That's great. And that's 2 science tags that together enable plantation, which is a tile that can be placed early on. So that's great. Let's see what we have here. Oh my god, okay. There's another tile that you can place with Mining Guild, and another science tag, which is also great. And then a pretty good steel target in the early game, just for builder. Like, it's not crazy valuable to play this early on, but if you have surplus steel, and you will have a lot of surplus steel with this start, then Colonizer Training Camp is definitely worth keeping. So this would probably be my preferred Mining Guild hand here. That would leave me with 12 MC and 10 worth of steel. With 12 MC, you can play restricted area, but then you can't draw a card. So maybe you'd skip Lagrange. Yeah, out of these I'd probably skip Lagrange. And then you can play restricted area on Pavonis, get that free steel prod, and even draw a card. So that's the way I'd go with Mining Guild, but you could definitely go with Saturn Systems. And yeah, with Mining Guild, I'd probably keep these 2 preludes. Of course, donation would allow you to keep Lagrange and still play restricted area and draw. But it's not that critical to keep Lagrange, so I probably just pick these 2, skip Lagrange, and then play what I just said. But with Saturn Systems, probably still these 2 preludes. Although home farming is a little bit more questionable, but I think it's still better than Supplier. Questionable. Still these 3 cards for sure. Really, really good. And then the main reason you're picking Saturn Systems is you have 2 Jovian techs, and one of them is a Jovian multiplier, and you have 2 card draw. So that's pretty good, and you definitely keep Lagrange to the situation as well. You have 21 cash left over. With that, you can play a restricted area that costs 13. So you have 8 left over, so it costs 11, and then you draw for 2. So you have 8 left over, and you can play Colonizer Training Camp for another MC prod with Saturn Systems. So that would be an amazing Saturn Systems start as well. Not quite sure which start I prefer. Both are great. I really, this is a toss-up. It's a 3-player game, so I probably like the Saturn Systems strat more. But it's 50-50. Both of these starts are great. So whichever corp you like more, you probably just pick that corp in this scenario. But yeah, really great starting hand. I'd say we move on to the next one. All right, hand number 2, and we're on Hellas. And also this is without Venus Next, 3P game again. It's IC versus Tharsis. I think IC is stronger in most cases, but sometimes you just don't have the starting hand for it. If you don't have any building text to play, it can be rough with IC. Definitely some good preludes. Both Unum I Contractor and Allied Bank are amazing engine preludes. Metal Rich Asteroid can be really, really good if you want some starting capital. Probably these two are the best of these 4. Biolab is a tier below these 3, so probably you wouldn't pick this in most scenarios, only if you really want the science tech. Okay, Arctic Algae is a must pick, really, really strong card, and the rest isn't too great. Big Asteroid, of course, is a top tier card, really, really good. So we'd probably keep that. And then you have bushes, which I sometimes like to keep on my starting hand if I don't have a lot else. Especially if you have some heat prod, bushes is a really good keep because then you can try to force it down quickly, and then it's a really, really good value card. Same goes for farming, but farming goes down so late that I almost never pick this out of my starting hand. The problem here is, of course, we don't have any heat prod, so bushes immediately is worse than in other cases. I'd probably keep asteroid mining here because we don't have a lot else to do, and if you play this in Gen 1, it's a good value card for sure. The thing is, with Metal Rich Asteroid and Allied Bank, we have for asteroid mining 15 MC more than usual. So we start the game with 45, and if we keep these 4, we go down to 33. So we are still able to play the card. And we could still keep another one. Of course, that wouldn't allow us to play Arctic Algae then in Gen 1, but you just gotta risk it. I think playing AM in Gen 1 is more important than playing Arctic Algae because this is speculative. You don't know whether anyone will place an ocean, and AM is just raw production. You know what you will get. Now the question is, do we go for IC or Tharsis? I think on the map Tharsis, you would definitely go for Tharsis here because Tharsis has just an easy way to at least 1 or 2 milestones there. You have a head start on Maya, you have a building tech, okay, you also have a building tech on IC, and you have a lot of steel, so that doesn't really count. But you can also go together with the city and Arctic Algae for Gardener. We can also try that with IC, but it just fits better into the Tharsis playstyle. Here on Hellas, you could also try to go for Polar Explorer with Tharsis, because you have that city already. AM, of course, is also really good for Rim Settler, but that counts for both corps. It's difficult. I'd probably go for IC. IC is just stronger in general, and we can just hope that we find some building tags in the following drafts. And because, yeah, the lower starting capital kinda prevents us from playing Arctic Algae. So if you really want to be, if you are really risk averse and want to get Arctic Algae down as soon as possible, you can definitely pick Tharsis here. Arctic Algae combos really well with Tharsis. And that way you have 13 MC more than with IC. That means if you pick these 4 cards, you can definitely play AM and Arctic Algae because you have Metal Rich and Allied Bank. So you just start off the gen by playing Arctic Algae, hope that no one plays an ocean before because you're in last place, and then you followed up with AM, and then you hope to find some more cards in the draft because you only have bushes and big asteroid left. But you have good titanium prod, good prod in general with Allied Bank, You have some steel left over, and you have Arctic algae down, which can just define your early game. If you find ocean cards, you can just pump out greeneries like crazy. So definitely an interesting starting hand, and definitely not as strong as the last one, but it has some good pieces. So yeah, let's get to the last hand and see what we get there. Okay, and the last hand is a decision between Phobolog and Helion. Phobolog usually is pretty bad, so let's go with Helion for now, which is kind of average and can be really fun to play. Orbital can be really nice for Phobolog. Aquifer Turbines usually is a really good prelude. Research Network can be great if you need attack, and it's just a nice engine prelude because it works for the green combo, the science combo, and the Jovian combo. And dome farming, I already talked about that in hand 1. The 2 tags are really useful, the prot is also useful. So definitely some good preludes. With Helion, I'd probably go for these 2. They fit better into faster playstyle, and if you get like carbonate processing or the other one, which I forgot, the bigger brother of carbonate processing, then you can use Aquifer Turbines to play those, and that would be really beneficial for Helion. You know what's also really beneficial for Helion? Mobile area. Jesus Christ. Convoy from Europa, also a great card if you're going for a faster game. Wow, okay. If you go for these 2, you have a Jovian tech to play Beam from a Thorium Asteroid in Gen 1, and you have Titanium to get it down. So probably I'd skip these 2, just go straight for these 2. Pick these 2 out of the first 5, and then Bushes, Marzu, and Beam out of these. This gets us down to 27 plus 12 is 39, so enough to play Beam. We'd have 7 left, which is not enough to play anything else, but then in Gen 2 we can play Mohole Area. We are on Elysium, by the way. Beam gets us up to 6 heat prot, and then Mohole gets us up to 10 heat prot, which allows us to get Specialist. So that's really nice. Do we want anything else? I mean, you could take Fish here, honestly, and maybe even local heat trapping, because you will have 10 heat prot. So you will raise up the temperature track like crazy. Then Fish is really good, and local heat trapping obviously combos well with Fish. You could also skip local heat trapping and take herbivores, because you will also have some plant prot, but who knows how fast the oxygen will move up. This is not the map with eccentrics, so it's not necessary to pick every last animal or microbe tag you see. But herbivores, don't get me wrong, is still an amazing card. Kind of torn between local heat trapping and herbivores. But given the fact that we have Fish on hand, so local heat trapping is 4 MC total for 2 points, and we will have a lot of heat. I think local heat trapping makes a lot of sense. Probably go like this, so that leaves us with 21 MC, plus 12 is 33, and that's enough to play Beam Gen 1, and then Gen 2 we play Mohole Area. And that's an amazing Helion start. Definitely don't pick Phobolog here, Jesus Christ. Of course, Phobolog makes it really easy with like these 2 to play Beam. So you could definitely play it. That way you would have 2 MC left. You would spend 8 titanium on Beam. Could even play a Convoy for like 4 titanium and draw a card, but there's no reason to pick Phobolog here, just because it's easier to get Beam down. You can get Beam down with Helion as well, so why pick Phobolog? That just Phobolog, Helion just grants you a free specialist, so don't see a reason to play Phobolog here. So great Helion start for sure. You would want to find more cards like bushes, so heather, grass, trees, farming. Just plant prot cards, good plant prot cards that got unlocked on the heat track would be amazing for you here. So try to find those in the draft. But yeah, that was it for today's episode of What to Pick. I hope you enjoyed it, and definitely let me know in the comments for these starting hands what you would have decided differently. And if you enjoyed the episode, then please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.